Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Felix and today we're reviewing the Algar The Last Scion. Now as you can see on the screen right now, the packaging is not the best. I got it off this AliExpress seller which I'm talking to right now. I'll explain further in the comments. I don't think they're like the worst person ever. It's just that these things happen sometimes. Like the packaging on front doesn't look so bad, but from the side you start seeing the problems. Like look, there's an tire tear here and it's just beat up beyond recognition. And I've ordered off AliExpress before and none of my packages ever came this bad. Like even in the Berserker Broly review that I did earlier this year, even his was cracked up, but like that's okay. It wasn't this bad. But yeah, this is pretty terrible. It also came with this card, which I don't know, maybe this is part of the review already, but this is a really good like looking art. It's just a piece of art that they gave to go along with it. But last time we were checking out Romankey, it was basically Gun Girl Jessica Astor, which looks absolutely gorgeous still. But taking this guy out of the box finally. Now, taking a good look at this guy, I increased the quality so that way you guys can see all these details, because I feel like the original camera quality wasn't doing him enough justice. So, looking at this guy, he looks amazing. He has this already attached yelling, like screaming face. It isn't really adjustable by any means, but something that I found really interesting was that for the neck, you might think, oh, well, it must be super stiff, right? Because of the plastic. It's not, because it's not plastic. It's more of a rubbery material that allows you to just move it around and basically bend it, but nothing like too crazy where it's just like squishy, but it is a little bit squishy. Something else that I noticed was that his head, the peg that it's on, you can actually see it right here. It's kind of like how Reveltech used to do their old heads, where it's attached on like this kind of stick joint that allows for a lot of range of articulation, but usually meant that you're sacrificing some sculpting. But I guess in this case it works perfectly fine, although it did pop off right now. But I think that's to be said. That's like to be said. I think that's like gonna be like a okay thing. It's nothing crazy. But again, looking at this guy, you can also see that right here. This might look like hard plastic. I'm noticing this a lot. A lot of this is like soft rubbery plastic, and that's good, but I don't know how much that's gonna hold to the test of time. I mean, looking at his articulation right here, again, this is like soft rubber, so this kind of goes in. This part is actually hard plastic, but the rest of it is rubber right here. But looking at his joints, you can see that he's double jointed right here. He does have a bicep swivel. Very nice looking. No forearm swivel though, but great wrist articulation. Yeah, great hand articulation. Just great articulation for the arms. Butterfly joints, let's see how good those guys extend out. And it looks like, yeah, very good. You can have them posed up. I mean, that's, you guys can't see it a little bit, but yeah, crossed arms and everything. That's amazing. That's actually amazing. I didn't think, something that I just didn't think was gonna be good with this figure was articulation, but I guess like Romankey just has it down. As for shoulder joint, it's on this kind of ballish joint that extends like this. You're not gonna be extending it too far out just because of the sculpting right here. So, I guess that's a bummer if you think about it, but even with that limitation, he still got some pretty good range. Yeah, his shoulder joint's great. Looking at his torso, again, they did the same thing that they did with Gun Girl Jessica Astor, or I don't know if they do this with most of their bodies, where it's like rubber right here, so that way it gives you extra articulation. So you could do stuff like this, because you can actually see that this is actually two separate parts, this one being more, this time around, it's actually more plasticky than the top part. Obviously, you shouldn't mess around too much with the figure, just to avoid paint chipping or anything like that. But so far, I haven't seen anything like that. And also, the sculpting is just absolutely insane. Like, there's just so many lines and details right here. That's like, it's genuinely crazy. Also, I like this detail of the red. I just think it looks pretty cool. And yeah, his range is exactly what you expect. Well, actually, no, it's not what you expect. I didn't think he'd do this at all, but from Romankey and COWL Productions, I guess this is kind of their thing. They just have great articulation so far. I mean, so far the track record is like 2 figures, right? But I can't wait to see what they have up next. I mean, there's some pre-orders on Bombus B. That's where I get most of my figures. They'll be linked down in the description. I'm not sponsored by any means. I'm just saying that's where I get some of my figures from them. I got Gun Girl Jessica Astor from there, and I pre-ordered the new Sexy Ice figure from there too. But yeah, this guy's great. Also, this is also kind of soft plastic, more like rubbery. Again, I don't know how that's gonna hold to the test of time, but for now, it's pretty wonderful. He does go back that much. You can definitely do the splits with him to pretty good degree, actually. Sideways, it's also great. Yeah, that's great. That's actually awesome. And then we have double jointed knees, so you can do a little bit of that action. So I think you can get him into virtually any pose that you want. Now the tail is something that I didn't even think of. I don't know why, but it has a metal wire. Like I mentioned earlier, the cardboard Loki spoiled it. I didn't know this was a point of articulation, but yeah, it's like a metal wire. It's not too bendy, but you can definitely get it into whatever pose you definitely want it into. Although this part right here is just kind of hard. It's going to be kind of hard. I feel like it makes sense why it is. It's just too big and fat. That pause, yo. It's too big and fat, though, that you can't really, like, bend it at all. But even again, looking at the back of his legs, just look at that detail. Holy. I understand why this guy didn't come with the accessories. Now, there's his counterpart, which is the firing counterpart, which, I don't know. I feel like they did him dirty in the promo images because he did... wow, they really downplayed the amount of detail that's in it. Now, obviously, looking at accessories, you know, this guy comes with this pretty cool sword. It's kind of highlighted, but something that you might not know is that this is actually kind of rubbery. Again, we've seen this before, where rubbery swords just kind of get distorted after an amount of time. But, you know, I think this one's pretty solid, so I don't think that will happen to him. Just be careful with however you pose it. This is a very cool-looking sword. It's kind of like out of lava, magma. I'm pretty sure this is their own original character. Now, first of all, for hands, he comes with these two hands, which are like kind of like gripping, not gripping, but kind of like I'm about to hold out into my pose, fighting pose, and then I'm gonna hit you with my sword. Then we got these two actual sword holding hands. Very good with detail. They did not slack off. Even those nails, you know, they look pretty sharp. They look pretty great. Now, it also did come with these pegs, which I'm pretty sure might be for the neck, as well as just anything else on the figure, but I'm pretty sure it's only for the neck because everything else on the figure is kind of like hard jointed and not necessarily like that input jointed. I don't really know what you'd call that. Now, looking at the other accessories, he does come with the scarf that he does have in the promo images. But before we get to the scarf, this is beautiful. Actually, the way it goes from blue to like this purplish to the actual fire, it's just great. And I know the other one has something similar, and it has effects that go around him to like I'm assuming like that's his last flame, you know, like that's his last thing. This is more of like a casual fight, as in like he's not putting his all into it, you know, he's not like he's not going all out, basically. He doesn't need to. But looking at the scarf and the soft goods, I'm opening them up right now. Also, but while I do that, he comes with a stand. It just has his name on it, which I assume is his name, Algar The Last Scion. And this is him with his cloth goods on. He basically has like these little metal wires that go throughout the entire cloth. This is a very easy process. As for the bottom skirt part, it does actually like have this little like piece of cloth that has a little bit of metal wire in it that you can just push through this little metal hook or hole, ring, I guess. And as for everything else, you could just pop the head off and then just put on the scarf. Yeah, very easy process. But you know, if you're wondering, yes, there is a bit of articulation, as there's metal wires in the little sides of the cloth, not the bottom parts, but just the sides, so that way you can guide it, as well as up here, this entire portion, completely metal wire that you can pose and leave like this if you really wanted to. Not that that looks very good, but like these parts, no, they don't have metal wire, which is a little sad. I feel like there should have been one here down the middle, but they do make up for it with these two that are just all both have metal wires inside them. except for like maybe at the ends, like this little cloth right here. Same thing goes for the rest of it, all around here, up until right here. So as for the top part, it's basically just the outer rims that have the metal wire. So, you know, that kind of is, I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. It's completely good. It's great. It's just, I wish there was a little bit, just like somewhere along the edges, just to help it out. But honestly, it works just fine as it is. But other than that, yeah, this figure's great. And if you're thinking about picking him up, I highly recommend it. He feels great in the hands. His plastic and the rubbery parts feel great. His sculpting is absolutely wonderful. I think Romankey got themselves another home run of a figure. I'm looking forward to whatever they release next, as they have a couple projects in the works. So can't wait to the next release. In the meantime, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.